Hey guys, I'm back. I'm going to do a quick little synopsis of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, their season finale, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the article that was posted from LoveBscott, and then the answer to that article, the rebuttal to it from Bravo. So let's start with the finale. Like I said, I didn't see the week prior because I just couldn't get into it. This has been a struggle to watch the entire season. So, with that being said, I ended up watching the finale, and not a lot happened. The biggest thing was Candy's preview party of The Past. You know, her and Todd produced a movie called The Past, and I will do a separate podcast review about the movie. Okay, so that was really it. It was a preview of the movie, and then Drew Sidora was going to do or did a performance. That was really the highlight. That was the all cast event. That was the highlight. That was it. But as far as other things going on, Kenya and her daughter Brooklyn and her father, they're at her house, and Kenya is talking about the possibility of having another child. This time maybe using a surrogate, and they're having this conversation in front of Brooklyn. Now, granted, Kenya had already had a conversation with Brooklyn to see if she would like to be a big sister, but I think that the details and the intricacies of how that would happen, how it would take place, I don't think it was the right conversation to have in front of Brooklyn because the dad was, he mentioned, he said, look, at first he said, it's just not a good idea. You almost died when you were having Brooklyn. And it was a little too adult. I think it was too much too soon. And even though Brooklyn didn't appear to be paying much attention, she was. Because one thing about children is this: when you think they're not listening, they are listening. They got the biggest ears. They hear everything. So please don't think that if they're sitting in the room with you and they're not saying anything, they're being quiet, they look like they're playing with their toys, they're listening to every single word that you're saying. Trust me. So I kind of felt a little uncomfortable with Brooklyn being present for that conversation. I felt like it might have been too much. It might have been a little bit too much for her at this age. I just felt like it was a little bit too much. So that was my take on that whole thing. But it seems like Kenya is going, look like she's going to do this. She's leaning towards surrogacy because her carrying is just too dangerous. Um, I, you know, how is that going to work with Mark? They're in this very heated, contested divorce. Even though legally she has the right to go ahead and move forward with having, moving forward with having a baby. Sorry for the interruption. Even though she's legally within her right to to utilize the embryos and to go ahead and to have another child. Mark is kind of, he doesn't have to be a part of the child's life. We know that. And he has absolutely, seems like from Kenya's perspective, her standpoint, he hasn't even been part of Brooklyn's life. So I don't know. It just, she can do what she want to do, I guess. Sanya. Sanya is at this point in the show, she's 5 weeks pregnant. Last week, from the clips, we saw Sanya brought, Deuce to the doctor's office, and Dr. Jackie was not happy about it. She did a little nice, nasty way of letting her know he doesn't belong here at this office while we're talking about and dealing with the intricacies of pregnancy, especially this early in the process. Now, unfortunately, we do find out later on that Sanya did suffer a miscarriage, okay? But she's pregnant again. She is expected, I think she's expecting in December. So this is her rainbow baby that she's pregnant with right now. So when we see the reunion, we're going to see she's pregnant. We already saw the pictures, so she's going to have a baby. But this one at this point in the filming, she was pregnant, and she ended up losing the child. But when she went to go to her visit, the second visit, Ross couldn't go. She brought Marlo. Marlo was to be recording so that, this can be given to Ross so that he, even though he couldn't be there, he could still know and see what was going on. Sanya, explains to Dr. Jackie that Deuce has been very heavily involved. He knows what's going on. And Dr. Jackie was like, it's way too early to talk to your small child about this pregnancy. We like to wait at least till you get through your first trimester. Because it's just hard to explain if in fact something does go wrong. It's kind of hard to explain that whole thing. So let's get over we want to not include him so much. And Sandy was like, well, it's too late now. I did. So, it was too late. She'd already got him included. He knew what was going on, but that's that. So she was 5 weeks. At this point, she's 5 weeks. So, she's pretty excited about moving forward, having her second child. We see Marlo. Marlo is still dating Stokely, he owns a restaurant, a Jamaican restaurant. Things seems to be going pretty well. They don't want to call themselves dating, but they're friends. Really not much to say about Marlo. She said that, she is the lead stylist for Tammy Roman on some show. Okay. I don't know. There's really not a lot to say about Marlo, but that was her thing. And then Sheree, we get this useless scene with Sheree. She's in the car talking about with her oldest daughter, talking about, she's still doing these natural methodologies to deal with her fibroid. She does not want to go under the knife. Now, it's just, I don't understand why she doesn't want to go underneath the knife unless she think, I don't know. I'm really at a loss, considering she's had surgery on her face, considering she's gone the knife to have her breast implants corrected. But yet, when it comes to dealing with when it comes to dealing with the fibroids, she has this aversion to going underneath the knife. I don't know what that's all about. It's not a situation where she wants to have more children. So I don't think it's a fear of not being able to conceive again. This woman is almost 60 years old. So I don't think I don't know what it is, but she's trying to do the whole natural way. All right. Then they were talking about Bob's other daughter. Now, from the looks of the picture, it looks like Bob's daughter could be somewhere around Cairo's age, maybe a little bit slightly younger than Cairo. I'm going to say she's probably in her 20s, early 20s. And Sheree supposedly didn't even know about this girl, or this woman, I should say young woman. I don't believe that. There's no way in the world Bob brought another child, woman, to this event, and Sheree had no idea who it was. And then her daughter was like, well, yeah, I've been around her. I've met her. I know who she is. And yet Sheree didn't know. Yeah, I didn't believe that at all. But this was one of those throwaway scenes. And that's just what it was. It was a throwaway scene. So we get to Drew and Ralph. Now, at this point, Drew is still, she was still filming. Okay. She was still filming the past. She was very tired. And, Ralph has moved out of the bedroom because he's claiming that she's coming in late at night from working and it's disturbing his rest. He has so much work he's trying to do. And I'm like, what? They didn't even talk about it. He just ups and moves into one of the kids' rooms, and child, it's a mess. And then he's acting as though he's very jealous of Drew's success. He's acting as if he just doesn't care about her feelings, because she did talk to him about, his cousin, supposed cousin Courtney, you know, calling her out her name, calling her the B word. And he was like, well, what am I supposed to do about that? The other ladies have called you the B word, and now I'm supposed to say something to Courtney because she's, you know, he was very dismissive of her feelings. He didn't care, all this and that. Drew was just like, I just don't know. I just don't have it to give anymore. I'm tired. The sister, you know, she played the video for the sister because the sister told Drew that Courtney said she never did call her that. So she played a video, and now, you know, Allison's, you know, in her feelings about being lied to. Basically, the bottom line is this. This was just to show us how much disdain Ralph has for Drew. I honestly believe that when they came on here last season, um, I don't think that Ralph and Drew were in a good space then. I think that they were living together for the sake of the show. I think they made an agreement, and now it's just deteriorated into what we see now on the screen. And now they're in divorce court. So that's really all that is. It was just nothing to it. So we get to the party. Everybody's there. Cynthia shows up. Honey, when Courtney come in and she tried to speak to Alice, and Alice was like, girl, I don't see it for you. And she let her know how she felt about being lied to and what have you, what have you. And Courtney was so dismissive. Courtney was just like, girl, I don't really, I don't care about how she feels or what she thinks. It's such like a misnomer to me. I just don't care. Whatever the case may be. Mama Joyce was there. Oh, I was surprised because I wouldn't think that she would like the movie, honestly, but okay. She was there being supportive. Child Sheree showed up. Let me just say this about Sheree, and that I don't even know what Sheree was wearing, and that wig was beyond belief. Sheree had a new face and a new wig, and that wig was terrible. Sheree has definitely fallen back as far as appearances are concerned. When we first saw Sheree, she was dressing nice, the hair was nice, and she really wasn't wearing wigs too much. She was wearing mostly her hair, and she looked really great. I don't know what this is now. It's a mess. So that was really the season finale. They stopped filming in January, then they come back in March, and it was all about Drew and Ralph going through a divorce, and the rumor mill going around saying that Drew was messing around with some woman named Ty. I think she used to play for WNBA. I don't know. And Drew is saying that the rumor came from Ralph. I don't know whether it's true, false. I'm pretty much indifferent, don't care. But that was really the season finale. All right. So then we get to LoveBscott.com. LoveBscott comes out with an article stating that all of the ladies are being replaced. They're doing a reboot. That production is unhappy with the dismal performance this season. The show just wasn't given. They had to do what they could do to make it seem exciting, but it's just this isn't the right cast and all of that, right? So a lot of people began like speculating, like what's going on, and supposedly production has been secretly, you know, speaking with different ladies about being on the show, and it got a lot of people talking. It got a lot of people making videos and discussing their opinion. I was on a couple of shows talking about it myself. And here's the thing about it. The funny thing was people were saying, hold on. Yes, there could be issues with the cast, okay? But let's not also overlook there's also issues with the production team, right? And there is. So it's so funny that this article would state that the production thought that the cast is the issue, but yet they don't see themselves as being a problem. The showrunner, I think his name is Eric Fuller, he came out and he was like, look, I don't make decisions on casting. I don't make decisions on what gets edited in or edited out. That's not my thing. So don't come for me because, you know, I'm not making these types of decisions. Now, people kind of looking at Eric like, hold on, you want to make it seem like you're just not responsible for anything major. Now, I'm not going to say that Eric has the last say so when it comes to casting, but he has a say so. Here's how these things work. You are the production company, okay? You have your production company. The production company is the one who has, they have the show, right? This is their show. This is what they're producing. Okay, they do casting calls. The production company does the casting call, right? The production company works on where they're going to film and all that kind of stuff, and puts everything together for the trips and all of that. That's the production company. They also film and they also cut film. Now, they may not have the last say so on filming because the network decides on what they want to see, what they don't want to see. As they will make the final decision. The production company can come to the network and say, "Hey, look, we've been following this whole storyline about Candy and her new restaurant, or we've been following this whole storyline. It's got a lot of really good, interesting legs with Drew and her marriage or separation, divorce, whatever the case may be." And then the network will look into it and say, "Hey, look, we probably want to stay away from this topic. This one has been, not as exciting, or has caused a little bit too much controversy. We don't want to go down that road," or whatever the case may be. But let's not act as though the production company is in the innocent, what have you, area. And the showrunner, is making decisions on, this is what we're going to show because we feel it's the most interesting and entertaining. So he lying when he's saying that he doesn't have any power, and he doesn't have any authority, he doesn't say anything. No, thank you. Okay. So Bravo said that the information that has been reported about a total reboot is false information. So we are at this crossroads, okay? Because B. Scott, for the most part, from what I have noticed, has always been on point when they post articles about what's going on with Married to Medicine, the Real Housewives of whatever. They always get it right. I think that, Bravo didn't want that information out there. I think they wanted to just come back and say, boom, here's our new cast, I guess. I don't know. But there's a lot of talk about bringing on a new cast and doing a reboot. Fans have been saying, we need a new cast because this current one isn't working. I'm going to say this again. I do believe some of these peaches will get canned. Sheree might be one. Okay? Sheree might be one. Kenya might be another one. I don't believe the network and the production company are going to keep both Candy and Kenya. They are the top paid on the franchise, with Candy being number one. Okay? I think Candy's the highest paid in all of the franchises, I believe. If she isn't, she's definitely top 3. But like I said, I don't think they're going to keep Candy and Kenya. And the way Kenya's been talking and saying negative things about production, it seems like Kenya might be leaving. That's what it seems like. I think they will keep Candy on at least one more season. I think they'll keep Drew on another season. I think with the thing she's going through now with her divorce, I think they find Drew to be this interesting new energy, okay, that they like. Like, she gets people talking. So whether you think she's corny or not, she's in this movie now. She's getting a little bit more notoriety. So I believe they're going to keep her on. Follow what she's doing professionally, as well as she has a sister named Allison who's also very interesting. Her sister came on and discussed things that's gone on in her life and everything. So I believe Drew's going to stick around. I think we're going to see more of Drew. Sanya may be a friend of the show. I don't think they'll get rid of Sanya, but I don't think she's going to stay a peach holder. I just don't know that Sanya is going to continue to be that. I don't know. With Sanya, it's kind of, they might consider Sanya like a Cynthia of the show. She's supposed to be the voice of reason, but she really isn't. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking that they're gonna make Sanya a friend of the show. That's what I'm thinking. Marlo. Now she has been very polarizing. We got some people that love Marlo, and we got a lot of people that said ever since Marlo got a peach, she's brought the show down. I feel like when she got the peach, she became more over the top because she wants to prove that she deserved to have that peach. And I think she did more than, her whole thing against Candy. She talked all about Candy being out there in the streets. Then she talked about Candy not being a good friend. And she went at Candy real hard. And it just didn't seem to be warranted. Like, where is this coming from? So, do I think they're going to get rid of her? No. I think Marlo will have a peach next season. Despite how people feel about Marlo, I think producers and the network find her to be polarizing enough to keep to make things interesting. I think Marlo doesn't have an issue with ruffling some feathers. I don't think Marlo has a problem with being really the villain, even if she's not trying to be the villain. I think that's the edit that she's going to be receiving moving forward. So, that's what I think. I think Marlo's going to stick around. So who did I get? I got who's sticking around? Candy, Marlo, Drew. Then you have Sanya as a friend of the show. Now they will bring on probably 2 more people. I don't think Moneta will be one. I think Moneta will remain in the friends. If Candy's still there, Moneta will remain in the friend category. And Courtney, now look, I don't know about this one, but there really wouldn't be a reason to have Courtney around unless she's going to be a friend of Marlo. That's the only reason. If she's going to be a friend of Marlo, I guess. So those are my thoughts about the rumor mill, about the canned peaches and the reboot and all of that. I am curious to see how this is going to go. I know this weekend is going to be the beginning of the 2-part reunion because I heard it wasn't going to be 3, which quite honestly, I don't even think it needs to be 2. But I'll keep you guys posted. And then, like I said before, I will talk about The Past. I did watch it, and I will give you my thoughts on that movie. Talk to you guys later. Peace.